Alright, g'day everybody, welcome back. I'm just gonna take you a quick walk around all the fruit trees and stuff today. So this is one of my raspberries here. It's starting to produce a few little berries here and there. I've had a couple off of them that haven't been too good, but you can see they're sort of everywhere, so hopefully we should have a few raspberries in the next couple of months. This one here only has a couple of stems. You can see like that one's been eaten by something. But there's a few on there and a few on this one as well. So yeah, this has been happening a lot though. They seem to be getting eaten by something before they even get ripe. So I'm not sure exactly what's going on there. Sorry, I've just mowed and everything's been moved. So while I'm doing raspberries, I'll give you a look at this. Is the yellow raspberry. Now what happened with this cane here is it actually broke there, so it's sent off all of these side shoots. But I don't think they're going to flower. The grasshoppers really seem to like them. But yeah, that should flower next year. It still needs potted up as well. And I got a few little guava seedlings. This one was just getting eaten by a grasshopper. They seem to enjoy them. But these ones are doing all right. This one's even split into two branches. So I'm looking forward to trying to do some grafting with those. Now this, it's just been getting sicker. It's my Grumachama. So I'm going to have to pot that up. I think it was just staying too wet or something. So, but yeah, it's still alive. It hasn't really grown any. So this was a bit of a surprise because what happened is this is my thornless blackberry that I took cuttings from. This is the only cutting that survived, but it's actually started to put on a few flowers now. And I think that's just because the cutting that I took was a 1-year-old cane, so it's in its second year now. But I'm going to have to pot that up into a bigger pot, and I figure I'm just going to bury it up to where the new growth is coming from, and hopefully that will be alright, and that'll keep producing next year and the year after. Pepino's doing really good. There's lots of new flowers and new fruit on it. It's still holding on to a few bigger pieces of fruit, but it takes a lot of fertilizer. I usually give it a feed of that organic fertilizer every month. Otherwise, you can see the leaves will start to turn yellow, so it's probably due for another feed now, but it's gone really crazy lately. As for my grape, my seedless grape, it's doing really well. I actually broke the top off of that as well, but it's grown heaps since then, so I'll need to clear a spot because this is the only one of my fruit trees or whatever that's going to be planted in the ground here. My little dwarf mulberry cuttings are doing good. I haven't checked the roots yet, but in a couple of weeks I'm going to pull those up and have a look and repot any. Alpine strawberries, these are doing really well. I'm going to start some more from seed because I have a lot of seed for them. I did originally start like, more than a dozen, but these two are the only ones that survived, just because they take so long starting from seed that they get a bit neglected sometimes by me. And as far as the apple trees go, I didn't really get too much fruit off of this tropic sweet one here. This was the last bit of fruit, and it sort of split open with all the rain we've been having, so just put it down there to rot away. And as for this golden Dorset, I've got a few really good sized apples still on there. I've gotten like 3 off of it already, I think, and they're very good. So, but you can see the whole thing is sort of leaning over now. So once that fruit has come off, it's going to be getting repotted, possibly into a bigger container and straightened up. So Yeah. My little lime tree is doing really well. It's got some spiders living in there, but it's got a few big pieces of fruit starting to still hanging on there. My little graft of the kaffir lime, oh, it even has one on there. You can see that. But yeah, these ones have been getting eaten by grasshoppers as well, so they seem to be a bit of a problem lately. But yeah, I'm really happy with that, so I might even get a few pieces of fruit off of it this year, or next year, early next year. And the rest of the citrus trees are doing pretty well. My little mandarin has lots of small fruits everywhere, and it's got a lot of new growth lately. Like all that's new, I think, so these new branches, so hopefully it'll start getting a bit bushier. My blood orange, it's doing really good. It's still got a couple of really big pieces of fruit on there. This spot's actually completely loaded. So yeah, we'll just have to keep an eye on them and see how they go. My Navelina orange, it still has a couple of pieces of fruit hanging on. So yeah, hopefully they'll be able to hold on until they're ready and we'll be able to try some. And my finger lime has actually gone real crazy. It lost all the couple of pieces of fruit that it had, but I don't know if you can see that one branch has just gone nuts. So that's good. And yeah, lots of new growth. It's spiky. I keep forgetting that it's spiky. But yeah, lots of purple growth. Purple new growth, and yeah, hopefully we get some fruit on that in the next year or so. I almost forgot I have this little moringa tree. That was the original one that died off, I think because it was getting too much water in all the rain. But I haven't watered it, I haven't really touched it. It has been out in the rain a couple of times and it's just all re-sprouted, all this new growth by itself, so that's good. And I completely forgot, but I've also got this little pineapple which seems to be coming back to life. So I repotted it with a lot of perlite here, and then I just put it out in the sun, and yeah, it doesn't seem to be dying off anymore. There's lots of new green growth in the middle, so hopefully that will continue to grow, and we might grow a pineapple one day. And now I had a couple of small blueberry plants that I got recently. This one is the Misty that I got from Garden Express, and it appears to have died off completely now. I'm just leaving it in there because it's still damp, so I think it's just had way too much water. But I'm hoping if it dries out, there might be a little bit of life left in the roots. I've also got this Biloxi that I got from Green Harvest, and it's doing a lot better than that one. It did suffer a little bit. You can see it's been cut back in places, but yeah, it's doing really well. I think all of this is new growth, so I'm pretty happy with that. As far as the other blueberries, this one, which is the Gulf Coast blueberry, it didn't really do very well. So I'm not really sure why that is. If it just didn't get enough fertilizer, it wasn't the right pH, but just didn't put on a lot of flowers this year. So I'm going to investigate that. But you can see small flowered buds starting to form now. So you never know. We might get a few off of it next year. But the little Sunshine Blue, it did really well. You can even see there's still a couple left. That one wasn't quite ready. A couple of little ones, but they're almost, it's pretty much finished now. It's my little bay leaf tree. It's doing really well. Lots of new growth on there. And this Acerola, Barbados cherry, it's still got lots of new growth. but I haven't seen any more flowers on it since the start of spring, and they all fell off. So hopefully it's just getting used to the new pot, and it'll put on some more flowers soon. But my guavas, they're going crazy. So yeah, lots that have already bloomed. They're still blooming. This is my pink Hawaiian guava. Yeah, so I didn't move these when I mowed because of this volunteer tomato plant here. I didn't mow over that. So yeah, you can see a flower there that's just about to open. Oh, yep, there it goes. Another one there that's just opened recently, and lots more flower buds pretty much all over it. So this is the first time that the pink Hawaiian is flowered. The Mexican cream is flowering. I almost got one ripe, but then it developed a brown spot and fell off early before it matured, I think. So hopefully with all of these flowers we'll get some ripe this time. But yeah, they've gone crazy. So just over a year old, both of these are. As for my cherry guavas, I've had a lot of flowers coming on the red cherry guava, you can see there, and the yellow cherry guava, but it just seems to drop most of them. But I have actually found 2 of the yellow cherry guavas that have started to develop. So hopefully we'll get to try those next year at some point. Now my dwarf mulberries are still doing pretty good. They did stop fruiting. They stopped fruiting in October here, and I was told that these are ever-bearing kind, so if you cut them back, they'll produce more fruit, which I did do on my smaller one, which I'll show you in a minute. This one I haven't really done anything to, and it's still developing new little fruits. So I'm not sure if that's normal, but I'm not going to complain. I'll get a few more mulberries off it, I'll be happy. So yeah, this is the one that I did cut back, and you can see it's grown quite a bit in the last couple of months. All of, from there up is new growth. So, good 6 or 8 inches worth of new growth in the last couple of months. And it also has a couple of bits of fruit forming. I'm not sure exactly where. Oh, yeah. There's one there. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they go and how many times they actually produce any fruit. So the apricot's still doing well. Yeah, again, I'm not expecting a lot from these, but you can see there's lots of new growth. All of this red branches are all new. The almond, it seems to have been getting eaten by something, but again, it's just very slow, I think, to grow. So just sort of still waiting on that one. Now my peach is doing pretty good. It's got lots of new growth, new branches forming. It's also got this shoot forming from below the graft line, which I think is up here somewhere. So I'm going to let that go. I'm just going to train it sort of. The camera just cut out there. So yeah, I'm just going to train this up here, and I'm going to graft to it at some point in the future a different variety of peach or nectarine maybe. That might be interesting. As far as the apples are going, they've all done pretty well. Lots of new growth. You can see the new growth sort of furry almost, as opposed to the bark down here, which is a lot smoother. Now I have noticed on this Jonathan apple that it's been sending up these shoots from the roots, which obviously is below the graft. So I've just been pulling those off, And I'm going to go back and add a bit more compost and stuff over the top just to raise that soil level and hopefully keep those suppressed. But yeah, the potted strawberries are doing well. I've given those a feed of the organic fertilizer recently. Yeah, all the other apples are doing good. That's the Fuji here. That's what else is there? Just the banana tree, really. Because I've officially killed my olive tree. So it hasn't done anything. It's just been slowly dying over here, and it doesn't appear to be coming back. So I might have to replace that with another olive tree at some point in the future. But at least the banana tree came back, and it's bigger than it's ever been. I thought it might compete with this pigeon pea here, but this is doing really well as well. Better than all the rest of the pigeon peas, really. But you can see there's a new leaf coming out here, and I mean, they're getting bigger, so hopefully by the time winter comes around, it won't die off again. You can see that's where the original one was. And it's just sort of rotting away now. But I'm still waiting for it to put up more little side shoots or pups or whatever. So, alright, well, that's pretty much everything. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.